Well, I think for Priyanka, I'm very proud of her because it's not easy going from the top here to then breaking the market in America, in Hollywood, you know. That's a big deal. And I have a fantastic party sequence with a Christmas Bhangra song.
Oh my God,
well.
Is Santa doing Bhangra?
Well, a different kind of Santa. Yeah, I just did a post when I landed at the airport. There's a huge billboard of him, Levi jeans. So I thought that was very cute when I did the post coming from Southall, Heathrow, Mumbai. I grew up with it. I mean, as a small child, I used to put my stockings on the mantelpiece, and we used to write letters to Santa saying we want the Tiny Tears doll, the doll that cries and does pee-pee and all this. We'd ask for, but poor Santa would get it wrong, and we'd get the cheap doll from Southall Market, you know, that our parents would get instead. We've all decided to chip in, and we've got your money. We've got your 2 million. Go and make your movie.
Superb.
I was like, Christmas, karma, yes.
So it's based on a real person.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's Diljit.
I can't tell you. No, it's not. It's not Diljit. That I can't tell you.
It's time to sing. It's beginning to feel like Christmas in Indian tunes because Gurinder Chadha is here with Christmas Karma. Gurinder, I think Christmas films have become a rage. I mean, we Indians love watching it on Netflix. I just wait for November because there's a series of films that come in. How did you decide upon Christmas Karma? What was the thought behind it?
Well, my favorite film, Christmas film, is It's a Wonderful Life, Frank Capra. Have you seen it?
Yes.
So I've been watching that for many, many years, and every year my Christmas starts with watching that film. Beautiful film. Actually quite an Indian film, I would say. And a few years ago, I watched the film and I said, I want to make my film that makes me feel like the Frank Capra film. Because I cry buckets watching that film. And it's such a great film about how one man's journey, who he feels is a useless life, is actually such an important life. And I just love the hamdardi, you know, in that film, the empathy. And so I had the idea of taking Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol and giving it my kind of twist. And by making my Scrooge a very wealthy Indian man who is not very fond of poor people and refugees, which is quite common in England, I decided, let's explore that. And to my delight, it fitted so well, and the story came to me so quickly, and I wrote the first draft in 2 weeks, during COVID, in fact. So, and I've just kept honing it, and it's a very emotional film because it's about people who have a lot and people who have nothing, you know, and who has the right to be seen as more important in that. I feel that that also is a very Indian theme. In fact, I'm delighted that PVR theatres are releasing the film because Kamal from PVR, who I know, came to see the film in Cannes.
Wow.
And he said, chalo, 6 बजे की स्क्रीनिंग है, हम जाएंगे, थोड़ा AC में बैठेंगे, थोड़ा सोचेंगे, you know, we'll watch a bit of the film. This was what he said to me after. He said, मगर कैसे हुआ? He didn't sleep one wink. He came out of the cinema, his eyes were red, he'd been crying. He said, my God, he said, this is your best film.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's the first Indian who saw it. From India, I mean.
We'll go by his word.
Yeah, he was so moved. He said, it's so Indian. I said, no, it's British. He said, no, it's so Indian. Because I guess that idea of if you have a lot of wealth and money and then you're surrounded by people who have very little, that's everyday life here, right? And people have to learn to manage that and they manage it in their own way, you know, even my relatives, you know.
Absolutely.
So in my film, I'm looking at how do we make those choices, because ultimately we're all connected.
Absolutely.
We're all one.
Yeah.
And this is also what Dickens is saying at the end. And to live, really, the meaning of life is to give. And of course, Christmas is the season of giving for them, for Christians. But for me as a Sikh, giving is always there because of seva, right?
Yes.
So that idea of giving to give meaning to your life and the value of your life, it's a very important tenet in our culture, not just Sikhism, in Hinduism as well. You know, whenever you have a celebration, you always give to people, you always give food, and you always do dinner for people. So that sense of giving to give meaning for your life is really what Christmas karma is about. And here's the karma. That's for our good karma, we must do all this.
In Punjabi, which agar gal karni ho, what are those beliefs that you still kind of hold true to you?
So Punjabi में सब तो important गल ये है जे every film जिन्हें मैंने बनाई है, every film, it always comes from the perspective of Guru Nanak Dev Ji.
Wow.
And that the most important thing is Sarbadapala. This is one of our most important tenets. Whatever you do the good for the good of the community. So all my films have been for the good of the community, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, I've tried to either make us more visible. I've tried to deal with racism in a particular way.
Absolutely.
I've tried to change and challenge society's views of who we are or who someone like I am. And I'm doing it for the good of the community. And I've had a massive impact on women's football. It is now such a big thing, you know, because women were seen as secondary.
Absolutely.
And so it's also Badapala for me. But I also think, you know, Ek Onkar is important.
Right.
And we can't have airs and graces in life. We can't have an ego. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Because ultimately you cannot take anything with you except the fact that you had an impact on people's lives.
Yes.
This is all comes from, you know, obviously being a Sikh, you know, but also these are very Indian tenets that I've grown up with, even though, you know, I grew up in London.
Yes.
And I find that permeates my work. So even though they're talking in English, I mean, if I said to the British press that this has come from the words of Guru Nanak, they'll be like, what is she saying? You know, it's Charles Dickens. But Charles Dickens is saying what Guru Nanak Dev Ji said.
Absolutely.
Ek Onkar, we're all connected.
Yes, yes.
So in a way, it's, you know, with a film, you always, as a director, have to find yourself in what you're saying, the story of what you're saying. You have to find the meaning of it for you and extend your personality out. And so for me, this is what this film is. It's me saying, well, what is it to be human?
Absolutely.
What is it to have a life of meaning?
Yeah.
And no better time to do that during Christmas, I think, because that is a time when everyone does sort of take stock, whether you're Christian or not Christian. It's a big family time for us in Britain.
Yeah.
And I love it, you know. I grew up with it. I mean, as a small child, I used to put my stockings on the mantelpiece, and we used to write letters to Santa, saying we want the tiny tears doll, the doll that cries and does pee and all this. We'd ask for, but poor Santa would get it wrong, and we'd get the cheap doll from Southall Market, you know, that our parents would get instead. So that's when we kind of realized that Santa doesn't understand us, you know. But obviously we know it was our parents.
Right.
But I grew up with that, and so the idea of everyone coming together at Christmas. You know, in England, we have huge family gatherings. People bring all the food and everyone gets together, which is why I wanted to celebrate that in this film too.
Absolutely.
And I have a fantastic party sequence with a Christmas Bhangra song.
Oh my God,
well.
is Santa doing Bhangra?
Well, a different kind of Santa. A different kind of Santa in the shape of Malkeet Singh.
But also talk to me about the casting of Kunal and of course Eva.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much curiosity around this
Yes,
casting.
it seems like a wacky cast, right? When you look at it, but there's a connection to all of them. So Hugh Bonneville, of course, played Mountbatten in Viceroy's House, and he's the Lord in Downton Abbey. So for him, this was an opportunity to do something totally different to that Lord.
Yeah.
And he is amazing. He does a very sympathetic Marley, which is different to how he's normally shown. For The Ghost of Christmas Past, I was having lunch with Eva Longoria, and she said, I really want to work with you. What are you doing? And I told her, And she said, excuse me, Mexican American, we own ghosts. We have a whole festival, Day of the Dead.
Absolutely.
I should be playing a ghost. And I thought, my God, she's absolutely right.
Wow.
She's right. And so from that, I cast her as the Ghost of Christmas Past. And she originally comes on speaking in Spanish. And Scrooge says to her, excuse me, we're in England. Can you speak English, please? Like, it's quite racist. And Boy George, of course, huge fan of Boy George, who has to sing a beautiful song, which he sings amazingly. Kunal was, Billy Porter is a force. I mean, it's a musical, so I needed someone who has that chutzpah to carry a big gospel song. And Billy does that so well.
Amazing.
Kunal, I had met and I liked, and he has a kind of melancholy air about him, I think, you know. And I just saw him as Scrooge. He said, what are you saying? No. See, I said, see, look at you. And it took some persuading, but he didn't feel he could do it. But he's such a consummate actor, an amazing actor.
Amazing.
But the world just knows him as Big Bang Theory, you know. So we went on this incredible journey, the two of us, because he was on set every day, like me. And we ended up having a fantastic director-actor relationship where every moment, every scene was nuanced, and it was, you know, with Scrooge, the story is you can't be too emotional too soon. You have to, the nuances are critical in this, because you have to, when he does change, it's got to be earned. And so for Kunal and I, it was very careful mapping, you know. And as we got tireder and tireder, you could see we started becoming more like a married couple, you know. So he'd come on set and I would say, okay, so in this scene, this is where we're at, this is where we're at. He said, "Arey Baba, let me do it once now. Let me do it, then you can say what you want." So I said, "Chal Baba, you do it. And then he would do it, and then we'd discuss, and then I'd give him a note, and then he'd be like, shit, that's a good note. I didn't think of that. So it was a great creative journey.
Amazing.
I loved it.
Apart from this film, of course, there's so much anticipation around Bend It Like Beckham 2 since the announcement. What's the update on that, Gurinder, if you could share something?
I'm exploring, I'm definitely going back to this original story, the original characters. I'm wanting to update them to today.
Okay.
See what's going on, what's happening with all of them. And, you know, what happened? Did Jess make it or not?
Amazing.
Did they end up together? Who knows?
Yeah.
Are the mom and dad still around? Is the mum still crazy about the niece who married the Gora with blue hair? What's happening with that?
Yeah.
You know, like, all these things which have become, all these moments now which are so household familiar to so many people, I've gone back and I've looked at the script and I've looked at how to extrapolate. And so I'm just exploring how best to tell the story.
Absolutely. I think it was probably the first English film that we saw as Indians, as kids, which helped us understand ourselves, youth, sexuality. I mean, there's so much that we learned from that film, for sure.
Yeah, that's wonderful that you say that. People say the same thing in England, same thing in the US, Canada, Australia. Women say the same thing everywhere around the world. And it's not just Indian, it's like every nationality.
Right.
And I think there's something so remarkable, you know, for me, that people say this, and it doesn't matter who they are, what background or anything. It's just that universal story of having a dream and wanting to fulfill it.
And not just that, I mean, Bride and Prejudice, that's also one of our favorite films.
Thank you.
Have you been in touch with Aishwarya? I mean, do you plan to kind of cast her also in something soon?
Why not?
We loved her in that film too.
She was terrific. She has a very active fan club that sends me messages regularly saying, please work with Aishwarya ma'am, please work. This is on Twitter. So I'm fully aware. I think that, I saw Abhishek quite recently in London, and I was pleased to hear everything. She's been busy as a mom, as you know. But I think it would be great. I mean, there's so many great actresses of that age group. And I'm glad to see them out there still working. Kajol is another, you know. So yeah, I'd love to do something that brings them back, you know.
Yeah. But as a woman, Gurinder, I wanted to ask you, I mean, because you've seen Aishwarya in her prime, the kind of negative feedback or trolling that she receives right now for her body, for how she's aged, how do you look at this as a woman and the constant glare on female actors when they kind of reach a certain age?
Yeah, I think shame on you. It's a very sad reflection of society, you know, very sad. Because what do they expect, you know? I mean, we do age, you know, we do age. And we have other things. You know, I'm a mother of 2, you know. Boy, that's hard work, you know. Being a mother is hard work.
Absolutely.
So I don't have time to go to beauty parlors and all the rest of it, you know. So I think people need to be a little more tolerant and a little more understanding of the women's psyche, and men too. I think men, it's part of this curse of being a celebrity. You know, I think sometimes it's just very vindictive and it's very upsetting.
Absolutely.
Because there's no need for it.
Yeah.
It's if you 1 minute you pick up your actors, next minute you drop them. It's partly to do with just this incessant digital news now as well, you know.
Right.
But I would tell her and all women to ignore it. Live your life. Be who you want to be. You know, do what you want. And if anyone says anything, say, "Ha, that's your opinion. Good luck. Enjoy your life." And just ignore it.
Yeah, and you recently shared a post on Diljit. I mean, the kind of global acclaim that he's been getting, and also Priyanka Chopra for that matter. How do you look at when Indians kind of reach this global stage and global popularity?
Oh, I feel so proud. I feel so proud. When Diljit was performing in London, I got a message saying he wanted to meet me. And I was so happy, and I went to meet him. And he said, हम आपके picture देखते थे, you know, ये cinema में देखते थे and all this. And I was like, oh, thanks, mate. You know, and then I went to his show, of course. I was like everyone, blown away. But I just did a post when I landed at the airport. There's a huge billboard of him, Levi jeans. So I thought that was very cute when I did the post coming from Southall, Heathrow, Mumbai, Diljit. And it was quite funny. I put his Challa song on and with Gurdas Maan. And I think he liked the post. Well, then all the comments were he's liking the post. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I think that with Diljit, I think he's a very smart, very talented man, and he doesn't let any of this bother him. And I
he's
love
also
that.
at the receiving end of a lot.
But it doesn't matter because you know what? He believes in God Almighty. He believes that he's here for a purpose, and he's here to do what his work is. You know, and there will always be detractors.
Absolutely,
always.
And talking about Priyanka, also she's also trying to change how South Asians are seen in international cinema. How do you look at that? And also, Gurinder, how much change have you seen? How the representation of South Asian actors have changed over the years?
Well, I think for Priyanka, I'm very proud of her because it's not easy going from the top here to then breaking the market in America, in Hollywood, you know, that's a big deal. And the fact that she's managed to do it so well, you know, in terms of getting people to take her seriously as an actress, then also her performances. I mean, for me, Burfi, her performance in that was incredible, you know. And I see her regularly when I'm in America. And I spent lovely time with her. And her daughter is, my God, to die for. Little Malti is like so cute. Can't tell you. And mad about Disney princesses.
Wow.
Oh, love her. So what I see is a very happy mom. She's super happy as a mom, you know, and super fulfilled, and also moving into producing and doing great work on that front. She has a good team. We've been talking about things, And I think that she's really understood that world out there, you know, and I think it's a very hard world to navigate,
absolutely.
and even me, there's very few women in Britain, even after all these years, you know, like there's still very hard to get a film made in Britain if you put an Indian in the lead, you know. And I'm lucky with this film because I got a lot of rejections, but in the end, I made it with Indians largely. Civic Studios came in and supported me. Sunil Sheth, who is someone I've known for a long time. I'll tell you a very sweet story. I had got 80% of the budget, and I was really upset that I hadn't managed to get the last £2 million to make the film in time for Christmas. But I had agreed to do a charity carol reading in a church for this charity called Anti-Slavery International. And Sunil, who was my retired lawyer, he works with that charity. And he invited me a long time ago, and I'd agreed. But I was feeling so depressed because I was walking through London, the lights were all twinkling, every Christmas light was laughing at me. You didn't get your money together in time to make your film. And I was like, oh my God, how am I ever going to get this production value, you know? Anyway, I went to the church. When I got there, there was a raffle and not many prizes. So I offered a walk-on part in my next film. Everyone bought raffle tickets, went down well. Afterwards, Sunil came up to me and he said, what is this film? Tell me about it. So I told him about Christmas Karma. And he said, oh, so it's like a refugee story. I said, yes, because Sood is originally from Uganda, right? And comes to Britain as a refugee. And he said, what's the problem? Why aren't you making it? And I said, well, I need the final £2 million, Sunil, and I'm struggling to get it. And then next day he called me and he said, you know, I got a few of us together. You've given us so much pleasure over the years, Gurinder. We've all decided to chip in and we've got your money. We've got your $2 million. Go and make your movie.
Superb.
I was like, Christmas, karma, yes. And the next day I booked a helicopter shoot and paid for it. And we did all
used
it well, but did some beautiful shots of London at Christmas. But that's a great story, you know. But again, it was Sunil, you know, and Anushka, who I bumped into. And my karma. And then also the other story, which is important in this, is the UK tax credit had been 25%.
Okay.
And Rishi Sunak was the Prime Minister at that point. And I had attended a function at Downing Street for all the film industry. And before me, the British Film Institute had been chatting to him about increasing the tax credit for independent films. Okay. And he had said, no, I'm not going to do it. And as I arrived, they told me he said no. I was so furious. And I was supposed to make a speech about something else. Instead, I made a big speech about how much I've struggled to make my film, how independent film is dying in Britain. We can't compete with studios. We can't compete with streamers, you know, the whole landscape's changed.
Absolutely.
And, you know, people like me, I said, you know, we're really struggling. So we need a decent tax credit, you know. And when everyone in the audience is the film industry going, what the hell's happened to Gurinder? Anyway, as I came off the stage, Rishi said, I want to help people like Gurinder. And overnight, the tax credit went up to 45.
Wow.
So I was the first film that benefited from an extra million, you know, into my budget.
Right.
So that's Rishi Sunak, Civic, Anushka, Sunil.
Super.
And then, of course, Ziggy, who is my distributor of Bend It, he also came in. So we ended up making the film, and I'm very proud of the film because it's very much follows the beliefs that I follow.
Yes.
And I feel that at a time when the world is quite polarized everywhere, I think it's quite a soothing balm
Yes.
on bringing us back down to what is it that makes us human.
True. And on that note, Gurinder, I also wanted to ask you, given how Trump has announced a 100% tariff on films made outside
Yes.
US, how do you think it will affect films and filmmakers, especially because you, of course, based in UK? Have you guys figured it out how it's going to affect business for you?
Yes, I think the problem at the moment is no one knows exactly how it's going to work. I think that's the thing, because film by its nature is international. Whether you casting, post-production,
Yes.
visual effects. So I think they have to figure out how that's going to work. And then we'll see. Maybe it's time for me to move to India. Maybe I have to start making films in India.
We would love that.
Well, I would love to make a Punjabi film, that is for sure.
Yeah.
I have a subject that I've been wanting to do, for a long time. So maybe this is the time to come this way.
You want to give us a sneak peek into?
I will tell you when it's real, but it's music based, and it's a story I've been following with the family of the person, and let's see.
So it's based on a real person.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's Diljit.
I can't tell you. No, it's not. It's not Diljit. That I can't tell you, because he'll make his own film.
But do you get time to watch Indian films? Any decent films that you watched, you liked?
I don't get as much time to watch Hollywood films than my Indian films. And often when I'm making a film, I try not to watch other films because I don't want to be influenced, you know. But I did enjoy Kiran's film.
Lapata Ladies.
Yeah, that was really good fun. I enjoyed that. I liked the filmmaking of that. I really liked the documentary, All That We Breathe. I thought that was an incredible film. I really did. It was like an old school, masterful documentary.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And not a lot coming out of the West, I think, of late, you know.
Right.
I've just been asked to appear on BBC World because Ridley Scott has said that there's so few good films being made that he started watching all his old ones himself. So they said, would you like to comment?